All right, so I know there was an episode of this series that went out yesterday, but that episode was recorded almost 2 weeks ago because for the last 2 weeks, I've been getting gradually more and more sick. And then a few days ago, about 3 different things that could make me sick happened, and I was super unwell for a few days. I'm feeling a bit better now. I'm not 100%, but if you're wondering why there were no videos basically at all last week, that's why. I have posted about it a little bit on social media, and I did mention it on Discord, and I do appreciate those of you that reached out and were like, hope you're doing good. I am feeling a little bit better now, so thank you very much for that. Thank you for your patience. I appreciate you. But without any further ado, let's get back to some 2 Point Museum, because I've been a little bit busy between this episode and the last one. And I say a little bit because comparatively, compared to how much I do between other episodes, I haven't done that much. But I have gone out and got us another exhibit for the museum. We have a ghost net in here, which has some decorations around it. It has all of its potential buzz, and we could, if we wanted to, just increase the entertainment on this guy, which I think I'm going to do just because I can. I have done a little bit of work to research the haunted bed. So if we can get some more of these guys, we can get some more perks on here, which I'm not against doing. I've also swapped out some of these doors for the security doors because I think that makes a little bit more sense. And there was one other thing. It wasn't all that big of a deal. Actually, oh, wait a minute. It kind of was. We now have the potential to go down here to Spiffenmore's Spire and set up an expedition using Linda Mouth, who now has level 2 survival skills, which means that this Hellhold event isn't going to happen. Meaning we're not going to have anybody go missing in action, which is kind of a big deal. Now, if we did spend some time going and training people in Happy Thoughts up to level 2, we could avoid this curse. And if we got some people with Spirit Whispering, we could avoid this one as well. That would take some time, and unfortunately, I don't really feel like spending all that time, so I'm not going to. We are going to do a detailed expedition here, and we are going to use a survey scanner for plus 95% survey level on this guy. And the important thing to remember is that from Spiffenmore, we might get some kind of famous spirit. Now, while that's heading out, we do have some more spirits in here. We actually have some Yetis over here now, which is kind of a big deal, because if I'm not mistaken, we need to get some I think it's buzz bonuses on Yetis for this place to be unlocked. So if we go and have a look at what exactly these Yetis want, this guy wants music, but doesn't want industrial age decor, which is a problem because the only music thing we have for this space is from the industrial age. You want an antique bookcase. Now, interestingly, while I think it's going to upset this guy, I think we could go in here, we can edit this room, I think we can go to industrial age, and I think we can get an antique bookcase. And if I put it right there, I think I want to approve this. And yeah, that unlocks the slumber yard. Now, this guy's not going to be very happy, but what I can do is just get rid of this. And now we have the slumber yard, which means we can go ahead and get another famous spirit. We also have Mushroom Wilds, which required 3 epic quality curse objects, so we will unlock you. This one needs Aquarium Buzz, which is very exciting. We'll get that eventually. And this loops down this way. We need buzz bonuses on 2 famous spirit exhibits. Well, that's a good thing because we do have 2 potential locations for those, which I'm very excited about. Now, unfortunately, this place also has the Hellhold problem, but what we can do is potentially send out a janitor to avoid at least some of this. If we had somebody that could avoid, or somebody that had fire resistance, we could avoid this injury. So I think what we would do with this is ideally train up this janitor here. And I guess we'd be using the same expert. Unless, I think we do have another expert that's getting there, right? I think we have an expert that's something like level 8. So if we were to go in here, I don't know, this way, for example, this place is already pristine though. Is there anywhere I can send people? This place isn't maxed out yet. So if we did this, we send out Grigori. You're level 8. That's not bad. I think Kelpie's probably the better shout though, because you already have survivor skills. So we'll send you, and then I guess we'll send you. That avoids this problem. We'll do a detailed expedition and we will do bonus XP. We'll get that started and that will hopefully help us level up someone else, which is what we're looking for. What I'm mostly interested in though is what exactly a famous spirit happens to be and how exactly that happens to work. Because this is kind of the thing that we've needed to do here for this star, I think. We also need to sort out pay satisfaction, which I guess we'll do very, very quickly if we look at pay review, approve all of those. We'll bring the experts up to a place where they're a little bit happier just to make sure that pay satisfaction is above 70%. But let's have a look. Let's see what we're dealing with here. We do have Linda that's now properly being cursed, which is kind of a problem, but inside this crate, we happen to have Atlas Spiffenmore himself. The founder of Spiffenmore Academy hoped to be remembered fondly at a distance. Sadly, being the most famous wizard in history makes you a popular target for those with a taste for magical power and cool hats. Okay, we'll place you into this space. So, to make you nice and happy, you are going to want Dark Age decor, which we can do. You're going to want a fire, which is fair enough. Do I have a fire? I do. I have a wild bonfire, which I guess can go right in the middle of the room, which is going to make you a little bit happier. What else do you happen to want? So you want an antique bookcase, a clock, and we need your hat. Okay, well, that's going to be slightly tricky, but we'll figure it out. The antique bookcase comes in from here, so we'll put it on that back wall, and we will approve that as well. And then we needed the clock, so we'll grab the... I'm sure we have one here. We have the antique clock for the Dark Age decor. There isn't a clock in there, so I guess we'll grab this guy, and we'll just do... I don't know, something like that, I suppose, could be the option. I guess I could put it right there, sort of looking straight at the fire, which again makes you a little bit happier. I think a bed might not be a bad idea, although maybe we go with the Dark Ages one just so it kind of matches a bit better. I don't know if matches is necessarily the word I want to use there. I don't think it necessarily matches, but it'll do. And I think for the most part, that's probably good enough for... Wait a minute, when you said you wanted a fire, can I give you a fireplace instead? Does that count? It does. I'm an idiot. Okay. It's good to know. And you know, I think this will do the job. I'm kind of okay with this. Now we do have to activate the buzz bonus on this spirit's exhibit, which means we need to get our hands on his hat, which is going to be slightly tricky, but we'll figure it out. I also want to get this opened up. We do need to get you guys to level up. That's going to take some serious amount of time to do. But we did get a ghost plant, and it is pristine, which is kind of neat, honestly. I don't mind that. Let's send that to our inventory, because do we happen to have that exact ghost plant? We do, and it's only great. So let me send you to our inventory. Let me go and grab the... Oh, we've got... Oh, wait. I was about to... We've got two of these. How did that happen? Like I said, I'm still a little bit sick, so you're gonna have to bear with me. We've got two ghost plants, man. How did we end up with two of those? Let's just put that in there, and let's also go ahead and start working on another survey scanner just to get that going. Now, what I would like to do is start an expedition. I would like to head out to Spiffenmore's Spire, because we do have famous possessions, which I have to imagine is going to be his hat. So here's hoping for the best on that one. I think this is probably fine. I would like more survey level from this, but I don't think it's going to be an option. So we'll just go with XP and we'll get that started. And then I suppose we can just sort of continue to send people to here, for example. We'll go ahead and send Kelpie on this one as we do, and we'll go ahead and send you as well, and we'll do the bonus XP on this one as well, just to make sure that Kelpie is getting the best possible opportunity to level up, hopefully sooner than later. Oh no, this is good. we got a pristine version of the ghost net. So I figure we can head over here. We can send this one off to our inventory and we'll grab the pristine version and just put it out here instead, since I think that's going to be a little bit better for everybody. I think right about there seems fine, right? That seems all right. We probably should be mindful of the perks that we put into these things if we're going to be getting rid of them, but that's totally fine. It is a pristine version of something that we didn't have. Well, we did have, but we didn't have the pristine one already. So I think that's completely fine. We do have this crate back here as well. I'm really hoping it's an occupied chair. It's pristine though, which is good. This is a really cool looking exhibit and I'm kind of okay with it. So we'll go and send that to our inventory as well. And I think what we should also do, just while we're here, is probably look at sending out an expedition to, not the detection agency, curses is what we're looking for, because Grigori, quite a few of them are cursed actually. Traumatic XP, won't gain XP until the curse is lifted. You are turned into a frog. Interesting. Okay. Well, we'll start that expedition. I'm kind of curious. Where is our frog? Oh, hold on a minute. There we. That's all right. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. That's you're a frog with a hat. Oh my God. Okay. That's fair enough. Yeah. All right. That's totally fine. Let's go ahead and put that chair thing out here. I think this seems like kind of a fun spot for an exhibit. So I think that's where it's going to live. And then around this guy, we want to get a candle and we also want to get some general decorations. So we'll keep it relatively straightforward. We can do some pillars, I want to say, in the back corners. I think that's relatively straightforward. We can do one of these guys sort of up above it. And then for candles, I almost like the idea of tucking them right back there, just right against the wall, sort of out of the way, but that's all right. And then maybe some banners as well, just on this side wall. I don't want these to kind of take away from the exhibit. I think that, well, that kind of does take away from the exhibit, doesn't it? All right, we'll get rid of that. This thing's level 3 for decoration for now. Is there anything I can sneak underneath it? I don't know that there's gonna be. We could do all this clutter. I don't love the clutter that's just laying around, but it probably would be. It is an easy way to boost the decoration though, isn't it? It really is. Maybe just a book pile as well. A book pile by the chair seems kind of cool, but again, it just looks messy. All right, so I think this will do the job for now. I'm not super concerned about how it looks. We can decorate that space a little bit more when we have more stuff to put in it. And if we don't end up with more stuff to put in there, I'll move the chair out into this sort of central space because that might make a little bit more sense. But for now, let's open this crate. It should just be staff XP because we're dealing with the curses. So what we'll do is, I suppose, get ourselves started on another expedition down to Spiffenmoor's Spire. And we'll just go and send out Linda. Linda's not going to get XP from this. Honestly, I'm kind of okay with that. It's not the end of the world. So we'll just use a survey scanner. We'll go for detailed and we'll set that up. And then at the same time, we will start an expedition up to curses again, because we do have Kimmy, who is also a frog person right now. So we'll send that out to deal with it. We still have criminals like crazy, which is totally fine. And we have a bunch of mails. So let's see. VIP visit, whatever. Poorly decorated analysis rooms, whatever. This is our security report. We had no one captured. We had one exposed, one escaped. Okay. This is our finances, which are doing very well. And we had a school trip at some point as well, apparently. All in all, though, I think we're doing all right. And I'm realizing if we do get our hands on this guy's hat, right out here seems like a really good place for it, given that it's sort of really close to his exhibit. My only worry is that he might have a requirement for that thing to be really close to his exhibit. So this bed might have to move is kind of what I'm getting at, but we will figure that out is what we'll do. We're also apparently having some problems with this thing filling up super quickly. So I guess we'll put another donation stand right there is what I'm thinking. I guess that's about the best spot for it. So that's kind of what we'll go for. We have a dilemma going on. That's handy. As the team carries the exhibit through the otherworldly gloom, ghostly arms reach out from the mist. Shake hands, naturally. The ghostly limbs seem pleased by the formality, lifting up the crew and speeding up their progress. Exactly. Just gotta be polite. That's all you gotta do. You just have to be polite. That's how you solve the problem. Anyway, Kimmy is sorted with some staff XP, which is great news. Shouldn't be too long until we have this Spiff and More exhibit coming back as well, and hopefully that's gonna be good. And I'm also wondering if it really would be worth getting another ghost dusting demo, given that this one does seem to be really, really popular. We might genuinely want to do that. We also probably want to analyze this ghost net to improve the one that we have. And I want to say, wait a minute, hellhole repellent. Why am I just so, we've been able to make this for a while, right? Why am I just now realizing, and I'm sure this has been pointed out in the comments, I'm just now, I probably could have sped up this entire process by just getting this. In fact, I can still speed up this process because I can go to that other famous location, and yeah, we can do some things here, is what we can do. Anyway, what we'll do is get this thing opened up. It is Spiff and More's hat, which is fantastic. It's pristine as well. So does it have to be close to that guy? Oh, it has to be in that room. Oh, we did the thing. That's good. Okay, we also got some cool decorations down here. Okay, we got a large donation stand. We get the marketing exhibition, wide glass info stand and glass info stand. Oh, very, very happy about this. Very happy about this. I'm gonna put his hat next to his chair. That seems like where it should be. Look, what does this look like? Oh my God, that's really cool. Oh, that looks amazing. Okay, you know what? Get rid of you. Get rid of you. I want this now. This looks so much cooler. It looks so good. Look at that thing. Oh my God. I'm so pleased with that. Oh, that looks incredible. That looks genuinely amazing. Oh man. We have some new locations as well. Dude, I'm having so much fun. I should also mention, like I said at the start, right? I'm still a little bit sick. I'm heavily medicated, so I might be more excited about this than I reasonably should be, but that's still really cool. I'm a very big fan of that. Let's set up another expedition to Curses, just to get that dealt with. And what I would also like to do then is go out this way, and I want to, oh, we can go down here now. Interesting. Let's get that unlocked. We can get sunken spirits and cursed objects. Okay. I'm all right with that. Do we have any? We do have a hellhole here. Interesting. I'm not super worried about that one though, because if we autofill this, we avoid it. We could potentially avoid this, but I don't know that we necessarily have the skill to do that. So I think we'll just go detailed. And we're just going to go for bonus XP, because why not? Let's just take a look and see what we end up with here. I'm kind of curious to see what we might get back from that one. Now, interestingly, we need to, so this is for Curator class 4. This is the next step. We need to receive a 1-star rating in the Bungle Wasteland and the Pebberley Heights Museums. We also need to receive bronze in Remote Rock Pop-Up Expedition. So, interestingly, neither of those are, so basically we've unlocked, what, 2 new museums, despite the fact that we've only been to 2 museums so far, and there is a 3rd one that we haven't even touched yet. Man, there's a lot. This game is taking up so much more of my time than I thought it would. Not in a bad way. I just didn't expect to have this much to do. And again, I'm not necessarily complaining. I thought it would kind of be like the other ones where you kind of spend, you know, an hour per museum and then you kind of move on to the next one. or maybe 2 hours per museum, and you kind of move on to the next one and you never really go back. This one, I'm enjoying sort of bouncing back and forth between the two museums that we've been to so far. And especially since these guys can get up to level 3 at some point as well. That's kind of exciting. Now, what I think we'll do is set this up, we'll autofill it, and we'll use this to get rid of the Hellhold event. In fact, we don't need to do that because we're sending Linda out on this one. We will go for the bonus XP, I suppose. And then you, I mean, we're going to have someone injured regardless, is most likely what's going to happen here. So we'll not worry too much about it. I'm okay with this. I want to go detailed. I want to start the expedition. I want to see what we get back from it. And hopefully it's going to be good stuff. We should also, and we do, have a crate dropping in here, which is great news. Let's have a little bit of a look at what is inside of you. It is a haunted toilet. Okay. It's only great, but you know what? Little haunted toilet never hurt anybody, except, well, it probably did, but we'll not worry too much about it. Speaking of haunted toilets, we could put this up here by the toilets. That seems... Does that seem like the right place to put it? I don't know. I actually don't know about that one. I'm also thinking I might... Oh, do I want to put it out here? I don't know if I do want to put it out here. It might not be the worst place, but I don't know how I would fill up this space just yet. I kind of like the idea of just a bunch of exhibits in there. I do like the idea of this being by the toilets too. That does thematically sort of make sense, right? So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to have to edit this toilet though. So let's very quickly go in here and get rid of this bathroom. And then we'll just sort of completely rebuild it. I can probably make it a little fancier. Maybe some gold toilets in here would be an idea. And I'm also going to put the door out here because that gives me a little bit more room to play with, I think. So we'll do, let's see, let's go for the gold because we can be nice and fancy with it. So we'll do the 4 of them. We'll get ourselves the gold sinks, which again, will go 1, 2, 3, 4, and some hand dryers. We'll go 1 and we'll go 2. And that seems all right. I think we can work with that. So we'll go ahead and approve it. And then, oh God, there's some overlapping going on there. I think we're good though. That looks fine. Yeah, that looks totally fine. I think maybe going for the red floor in there with the gold could be, it's certainly a choice is what it is. And then let's maybe go for, don't know about that gray. I don't know about that orange either. What about you? Yeah, there's there's not a lot of great choices for this, is there? Maybe just bricks. Yeah, we'll go for the bricks is what we'll go for. That looks awful, but it's totally fine. Let's get the haunted toilet out here. Let's start decorating the thing, which I guess in this case, it's going to be needing any other cursed object. So it is actually going to need to be close to something else. That's probably something I should have read before I placed it, but that's okay. I could, maybe we'll get something from you. Let's have a very quick look. We got another famous spirit. I didn't think about this. I'll be totally honest. I didn't. I'm going to send you to our inventory because I'm not really sure where you're going to go just yet. This might get turned into another poltergeist room, but for now, I think I need to put the toilet somewhere else. All right, so this is a little bit of a mess, but I'm actually kind of okay with it. It could look worse is where I'm kind of going with this. It definitely could look worse. I figured putting them next to each other kind of made sense because they're technically both chairs. So that's kind of how we've wound up with this particular layout. Now I would like to check our messages. We did capture somebody, 3 escaped. That's not exactly ideal. Our security in general probably could be a little bit better. And that's something I might invest in. I might look at getting a handful more security guards. I just don't know that we need them is kind of where I'm at right now. I just don't know that we need them. I am going to move this though. And I am going to move you. And I'm going to delete this guy and also all of the decorations in this space because I figure what we can do is potentially turn this into another poltergeist room for that new famous spirit that we got. So if we go in here and just take out this wall, this wall, this wall, and that little bit, I'm hoping that what we can do is build ourselves a... I do want to get aquariums. I do want to start going into marine biology, but we're not there yet. I'm thinking big poltergeist room. I'm thinking 4x4 seems pretty solid. I think a door over there seems pretty good. And I think we just go ahead and just build it. And we'll see what we end up putting in there. We'll see, you know, what the decoration has to be. I would like this vending machine to live... Interesting that I can put it inside that wall. I don't think I'm supposed to be able to do that. I'm going to put it over there so it's slightly out of the way. And then the bin is going to be tucked just sort of next to it right there. Just slightly out of the way. I think we're okay with that. And then Margaret Fitzpocket can go ahead. Margaret is going to want... Why is Margaret in there? Margaret, no. Hold on. Don't you want to be in your own? You do want to be in your own. And you... I need the Fitzpocket easel exhibit. You're happy with everything else, so I'm going to pick you up and just put you in there. And then you want this place to be industrial. We can do that. You want lights, a bookcase. We need the easel. We'll have to go and get that. And an antique chair. So lights, bookcase, antique chair. We can absolutely make that happen. So this is the antique chair. That is absolutely no problem. What I think we'll do, in fact, is get this guy right in the middle. I want to get the antique chair, say there, and I want another one there. I would like a nice little rug underneath the chairs, something like this. It does seem dangerous in front of the fire, but I think we'll make that kind of work. I'm gonna put the light maybe there, kind of over the chair, so it's like if you're reading a book or something, you got the fire in front of you and the light over your shoulder. That seems like it makes sense. The bookcase in this case is going to go next, or two of them can go next to the fireplace. That seems pretty good to me. And then what else did you need? Was there anything else? Just the easel. Okay. So basically everything else I put in here is just a bonus, and I'm kind of okay with that. So your bed can live in that corner. I think I'm fine with that. A little rug underneath the bed, maybe? I think a little rug underneath the bed's a nice little touch. I think a nice gramophone in the corner seems like a nice touch as well. We have a lot of space in here, so maybe the clock as well, and that'll do for the time being. Now, in terms of the outside of this space, I would like to do... I love this. I love how many things are connected to it. You know what? Get rid of you and you. I want to put this in here. I don't know if it makes sense to have the glass up against that wall, but that looks pretty cool to me. I'm very much okay with that. It looks so good. It really does. I love the glass info displays. That's so cool. It's so good looking. It really is. It's so cool looking. I'm so pleased with that. It's such a nice touch. It really is such a nice touch. And I think just while we're here, I want to start doing some tours. We have a lot of exhibits in here. I think it makes sense that we start doing some tours. So I guess we could do them from the middle. What if we did two? What if we had two sort of different setups here? Well, I don't know if we need to. I'm going to try one for now, is I think what we're going to do. So we're going to put the tour guy, I want to say right in the middle, and I want to say right about there is going to be fine. And then for the tour itself, can I add... Yeah, I can add the poltergeist rooms. So I can add all of these, which doesn't seem to be too long, which is good. We'll come down this way and here and here. And then on the way back, we go to the bed. And that just seems like a nice little loop of that space. Is this? It does look like it's starting to get too long, which might be a problem. It'd be kind of cool if I could get to everything, but you know what? We're not going to worry too much about it. That's why I was thinking we do two tours. So this one kind of loops around that way. We'll do one that loops around this little corner, and that'll be great. So quality's epic, total buzz 527, decoration's perfect. I am okay with that. We'll go ahead and confirm it. That seems totally fine and like something people are really going to enjoy. I would just kind of like to detail around it a little bit now. So let me grab this floor, and what we'll do is just put something like that underneath the tour guide, and then maybe back a little bit like this, and then at the front maybe a little bit of an angle like this and like this, and that seems okay. I could maybe do a little something like that as well, just to kind of enclose it. I think that looks all right. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. And then maybe just as a final little touch on this, a couple of banners might not hurt. So a banner right there and a banner right about there as well. I think that looks pretty good. I like that. I'm excited to see if people actually go on the tour, and I'm hoping people are really going to enjoy it. That's got to be good, right? And you know, I figured it probably made sense just to get this second tour going that little bit sooner than later. So this second tour just goes to these poltergeists, it goes to these two exhibits. It circles down to this little space, and that's the end of the second tour. So we have two tours running simultaneously in this space, which I think is kind of fantastic. I am looking at this part of the museum and thinking we should probably try and do similar, because we could probably get an amazing tour that loops through this first part of the museum right here. So I'm kind of thinking it might not be a terrible idea to get rid of one of these ticket booths and just put a tour guide in here. I'm strongly considering doing that. I genuinely don't think it would be the worst idea that we could do here. Or we could try and rearrange a little bit of this space and get a tour into here as well. We could try and do both, I suppose. That would probably make sense too, but I really want a tour that goes through this space over here. We don't need to do it. We are technically done with this museum for now, but I think just because I'd like to try, I'm going to get rid of a few of these guys. I'm going to rearrange things just a little bit where possible. So this guy's going to go to right about there. I think this is going to move completely. This can go right back a little, and then these can go as well. It does leave this space feeling a little bit empty, but I'm hoping for the best on this, and I'm hoping it's kind of going to work. So this is going to have to live as close to that wall as I can manage without it blocking everything, which is about there. I don't love that, I'm not gonna lie, but I think as far as tours go, this could be kind of a good one. I mean, the length is currently bad because for some reason it wants to loop the entire way around, which I don't understand why it does that. I've never really got it, why the tours seem to like to have that weird thing going on, but you know what? It's totally fine. We're just gonna loop it around and we're gonna assume that it'll be fine. The length is okay, apparently, so sure, that's totally fine. We'll go ahead and confirm it. That'll be our tour, and I'm curious if I change the color of this. Ooh, I can kind of get it to match the carpet, and I'm okay with that. That looks totally fine to me. So that's, yeah, we're gonna do a tour in this space, which is maybe silly, but sure, that's what we're gonna do. I'm also immediately noticing that getting rid of the second ticket booth might have been a mistake. Can I get a second one in here? I can stagger them. I can, oh boy. This might have actually been a really bad idea. That's, it's good to know. I'm sure it'll be fine. We could just add a second ticket booth, I suppose. I could put one over here actually, which, wow, that's a busy tour. Oh, that's what you love to see though. That also looked like a lot of money right there. Speaking of a lot of money, what if I get rid of you and replace you with the large donation stand? I feel like that makes a little bit more sense. And I feel like that's probably for the best in that space. So we'll see how that plays out. We have a lot of full donation stands in here, which is great news. And I guess all things considered, I am really happy with how this museum has kind of turned out. Obviously, there's still kind of work to be done. We should probably go out and start expeditions to here and sort of continue to do what we've been doing. So, you know, send out Linda and whoever else, get some bonus XP or whatever we want to do. I would like to get the, what object was it you wanted? I would like to get your easel. It'd be kind of nice to get that into your room. So hopefully we get it from this expedition. I think once we get that though, I'm actually quite content to move on from Wayland Lodge, at least for now. We're probably going to come back to it, but at least for now, moving on from it could be kind of cool. I also think it might not be a terrible idea. Oh, this thing is dying and something serious. Let's call an expert. Hopefully someone gets to it quickly. I I think I'd like to get my hands on a little bit more security. I want to get you in here. I would like to get you in here. And you know what? We're going to go for another one just to make sure that everything's getting collected. We probably want to get our hands on someone that can... Wait a minute. Please tell me you're not my bot. No, you're a supernatural expert. Okay. We should probably do something about that. Hopefully we have someone in the way that can deal with this. I think we did just... Yeah, we did just deal with it. Okay. I'll tell you what then. Let's also send out an expedition to deal with the curses that people have, because I did see a frog running around there, which is a weird sentence to say without context, but regardless, we'll send someone out to get treated for that. Oh no, this isn't the easel that we were looking for, but it's still pretty cool looking. It's definitely new as well, so it can go over here somewhere. It's a little bit wider than those other exhibits too, so I'll tell you what, let's put it, I want to say there, and I'm thinking we get rid of this this pillar that we have as well. Now we should just have staff XP in here because that was the curses expedition. And actually, speaking of that, we have other members of staff that I think are cursed as well. So we'll continue to send people out to get sorted. And I suppose we can continue to send out expeditions to that other place to hopefully get our hands on a little something. So we'll autofill this. We are going to need to be sending out Linda, of course, and we will do, I guess, just the usual bonus XP detailed. We'll start it, and then we'll come down here and I guess decorate around this thing. So similar idea to what we did over here. We want to just bring, not quite like that. We want to use this tool instead. Bring this surface out a little bit. I would like to get this thing a little bit more central than it is in that space. In fact, I'd kind of like to do it this way, I think. I'd like to bring this in because I think it would make more sense if we don't take up as much space. Oh, no, this is interesting. It would appear that Atlas Spiffinmar has decided to escape from his exhibit, which is not exactly ideal, but I think we're managing to talk him down a little bit here and get him to settle, which is what we're looking for. So hopefully that puts him, yeah, straight back in there, and hopefully we can clean up the mess that we have. Now, let's take a look and see if we happen to get a haunted portrait, which I love that you kind of angle around and it changes. That's very, very cool. We'll go ahead and send it to our inventory, and we'll also take a look at the curses situation, because that should be more staff XP, and that should mean that there's only 1 or 2 more members of staff that have a curse. What we'll do is head out to here again, just to make sure everything's okay. We'll use the bonus XP, we'll go detailed, and then I guess up this way, same story as before. We're going out to curses once again, or not. No one has a curse right now. That's actually pretty good news. That makes me kind of happy. I also like how this space is turning out. I'm realizing we could probably take an opportunity here to just modify this tour by adding this as another location, and then just gradually kind of moving it up in the line a little bit. So it's like I want to say it's the first thing they go look at. So they go straight to that and then around. The tour does get a little bit longer towards the end there, but I think I'm willing to kind of allow that to be a thing, because it just gives them a bunch of stuff to look at, which I think is for the best. And then for that haunted portrait, maybe down here, it's a little bit out of the way, but I don't know that I mind that. I don't know. I do need something down in that corner though. I think the haunted portrait might be the way to go. We could do it over here as well, but again, I think that's even more out of the way. So you know what? We'll do the haunted portrait down here. I think that'll be fine. I think that's a decent little spot for it. And I think I'd also like to just do a little bit of work here to bring this out. So it kind of feels enclosed, right? It feels like this is a little pathway through into the haunted portrait. I don't know what's going on with that exclamation mark though. Not really too sure what that's about. And you know, I think keeping this thing relatively simple is kind of the way to go. I didn't really do much around it. We do have the boarded up windows and door, same as we've done over this way as well. We have some info around it too, which is great, but the decoration is maxed out largely because of everything we did around the ghost flusterer. So I think that's pretty good, and I'm quite happy about that. Now let's take a look over this way and see what we get our hands on. We got Fitzpocket's easel, which is exactly what I wanted. That should make this room that little bit better. We'll go ahead and put the easel right about there. And that has given us the resting place, apparently, which is another location with a famous spirit, which is amazing. We also need 2 experts for this. What exactly? Oh, wow. We need a lot of levels to avoid this. That's quite something. We can do it. We can absolutely do it, but that is a lot. We also have the alternate yesterday, which is also going to have a famous spirit and a prehistory mystery, which is an interesting one. That's very, very cool. Okay. I love how much more space there is in the netherworld. I really wasn't expecting it to have all this much space to explore, but I love what we've managed to do here. I really, really do. I'm also, yeah, this was a bad idea. This is a really bad idea. Let me copy this thing and let me see if I can build a very quick, like, ticketing area here. I want to see if this is a thing we can get away with. Let's move this forward to about that spot. Let me go and put that chandelier back in this space. In fact, let's do one there. We'll do one there. I'm kind of wondering if there's any reasonable way that I could set this up that people can't, like, just go straight to this exhibit. So I don't really know if that's going to be a thing that we can do here, or a thing that we can really pull off without having to build walls and things like that, which I'd really rather avoid doing, but we might have to do it. I can't build a wall there. I can build a wall there though. Oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to completely enclose everything, you know? I think the most I'd be willing to do is something like that, where it kind of comes over and kind of forces them around that way first. But even that looks kind of terrible. So you know what? We're just not going to worry. It's not really a thing in this game where, you know, people aren't actively avoiding the ticket booths, I guess. So let's move this back a little bit just to give it some more room. And I guess I'm going to get rid of these guys again, because I might do 2 of these just so we have plenty of ticketing capacity for the museum. And I can also probably go ahead and, I don't know, do some little design in the carpet around these guys. I'm really not too sure, but we'll figure it out. I want to make this look a little bit more interesting than it does right now. So very quickly, we'll do this to start with, and then we'll do this, and the same thing at the back, just to kind of, I think immediately that just looks better. And then I think we can also maybe get away with a little something like this on either side, just to kind of enclose it a bit. I think this is the detail I was looking for in these guys. Okay, so all things considered, I think we've done a really good job with Wayland Lodge so far. I fully expect to come back here at some point, because I'm sure we can get it up to level 3 or 3 stars, whatever it happens to be called. But for now, I'm relatively happy to leave it where it is, move on, and see what the other museums happen to be like, because apparently we have 3 of them to choose from. And so I guess that's what we're going to do in the next episode, because that's going to do us for today. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. It has been an absolute pleasure as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.